Hey everybody, welcome to episode 12. I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Andi.
And this is
Everybody in the Conference Room.
That's right. Welcome to another episode, guys. As always, we just want to say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for supporting the show. Thank you for subscribing. Make sure that wherever you get your podcast, you leave us a review. And if you leave us a 5-star, it really helps out the show. And we will read it on the air. And we got a new one this week that we will get to in just a minute. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. It is a great, tangible way to help out. The show. And make sure you check us out on Patreon, patreon.com/anofficepod. And tonight we're going to break down season 2, episode 6 of The Office. We're talking about The Fight. Over at Patreon tonight at the after party at Poor Richard's, we're going to talk about fights that we've been in.
Yeah, we've got a couple of fighters around this table.
I've been in quite a few fights.
You're going to be surprised at who the biggest fighter is.
Oh my goodness. So good. And so we also want to say, speaking of Patreon, I want to say thank you to our sponsors. Number one, we want to say thank you to Saf, always supporting the show. Thank you so much.
She's been there, yeah.
And we also want to say thank you to another sponsor, a new $20 patron coming on this week, Mr. Brian Cavazos.
I hear he's pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
I like that guy.
So awesome.
Hey, Brian.
Thank you, sir. Speaking of new patrons, too, we also want to say hi to Candy, who came on as a $5 patron today.
Candy.
Yes.
Yeah, Candy.
So awesome. So they're both going to get access to the once a month live chat that we call the conference call with corporate. So stay tuned for dates and times for that, because that's going to be a great time. We'll talk about whatever you want.
Don't worry, we're not doing cuts.
That's right. It's going to be live. So we'll talk about whatever you want. Okay, so speaking of 5-star reviews, we had an awesome one that just came in from user, I think it's Clea.
I'm going to say Clea.
Clea83.
Yeah,
it's like Princess Leia with a C. So Clea83.
Oh, there we go. Mr. Nerd alert.
That's right. I'll take it. I don't even care. So the title of the... I was going to say the body. I usually say that. I want your bod. Did you guys ever see those commercials back in like...
For what?
It was like a cologne.
For Bod the cologne? Yeah, I think I've had some of that before.
Wait, you've used Bod the cologne?
So remember how I'm 27, so back when that was popular along with like Axe and all that stuff, when you're in middle school...
You're like, Mom, I need that, Mom.
You gotta get that bod.
Can you get the bod of the Axe on.
You're at home watching the Power Rangers, and you see the commercial that's
Power
like,
Rangers.
Take it easy, Adam Jones. We're not all as cool as you. I was so totally down for Power Rangers. But that commercial would come on, and it was so awkward if your mom was there.
Oh.
Why?
I don't remember.
Because it's like dudes in black and white playing basketball with their shirt off and like sweating. But then there's a girl, and she's like,
I don't want you to know.
She's like hanging on to like the chain link fence, and she's like, nice bod.
No.
Rockin' bod.
That is a little
and then the music would stop, and it would be like, I want your bod.
And then Adam Jones is sitting there going, oh, I need
I'm like, oh my gosh, I need this so bad. Mom, we got to get a fence around the house.
Please buy me that bod. Look at this women.
Oh my gosh.
Middle school Adam with pimples on his face. Just, get the bod.
Well, our audience needs to know. Did it work?
No, it definitely did not work.
You have to build the chain link fence to just fight the ladies off.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh my gosh. That's so good.
Oh gosh.
So the title of the review is amazing, with 2 exclamation points, by the way.
That's pretty good.
And the bod of the review says this. This podcast is amazing and has given me one more reason to watch The Office for the 1,000,000th time.
Yeah. Sweet.
Also, Michael is referencing Bam Bam from the Flintstones in the first episode when he's mocking Pam's name. When he's saying, Pam, Pam, Pam.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that?
See, thank
I guess that makes sense, yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
You want to know what I think of Flintstones? Vitamins. That's all I think of them.
Oh, yeah.
I never watched it.
What about the Push Pops?
Nope.
Flintstones Push
Just
Pops?
vitamins.
No? Dang. Did you ever see the live action Flintstones with John Goodman?
I remember that coming out, and I remember John Goodman, but I don't remember much beyond that.
Rick Moranis. It was good. It was a fine film.
It's good.
Fine, respectful.
He's good.
However, it hurts me to know that you didn't know that was a Flintstones reference.
No, I had no idea.
You just thought he was being
I guess we just didn't say it on the show either.
It
makes
made
sense.
for Michael Scott. So
Excellent.
you're like, oh, sure, he just says that.
Well, Princess Clea, 83, thank you so much. And if you're a dude, I apologize. So,
also, I'm going to guess you were born in 83.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
So tonight we're going to get into season 2, episode 6. We're going to break down the fight. We're also going to look at a prank that Jim pulls right off the bat. From the get-go.
It's so good that they put that just right up at the front.
He goes hard right at the beginning of the episode. It's great. And then we're also going to head over to the Dundie Mifflin subreddit and look at some quality content there that Mr. Adam Jones is bringing to the table. You got 2 posts tonight?
I had 2, but I'm just gonna do 1 and
I vetoed one.
save the other one.
Ooh.
like a
secret.
Like a secret. Keep it secret. Keep it safe.
There you go. I love it. It's so good. All right. So before we jump into the episode, though, guys, this was a big week for us. It was pretty awesome. We want to say thank you to everybody. We broke 1,000 downloads overall,
Yes.
which was really cool.
That is amazing.
We held a contest on Instagram, gave away a $20 Starbucks card.
Someone we knew won, which is awesome.
Yeah, that was very cool. That's fine. I'll cut that part out. We signed on 2 new patrons.
That is amazing.
Yeah, it just really does. Usually we would talk about something silly here, but it really does blow our mind how supportive you guys have been, and just telling people about the show, supporting us on Patreon, all that stuff. So thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, it's blown away expectations, I'd say.
Yeah, it's very cool. So, all that being said, are you guys ready to jump into the fight?
I'm ready to fight. I'm wrapping my hands right now.
He is. It's weird. It's strange. I'm not gonna lie.
What are you wrapping
fighting
him in?
around this table. Guys, what did they use?
Boxing wrap.
But
like in the movies.
Is it gauze?
Sounds legit.
It's not gauze.
It's
It's
like
a
canvas?
It's a tape. It's a canvas tape.
Like
I
canvas
think.
tape.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Either way, he's got it, folks, and he's ready to fight.
And he's ready to fight. There you go. All right. So tonight, Ryan has a secret mission. Dwight is senpai. Pam gets carried away by Jim. And Michael knows a ton of 14-year-old girls.
Surprise, surprise.
This is The Fight, Season 2, Episode 6 of The Office. All right, so the episode opens, and Dwight is walking into the office to start out his day, and he suddenly realizes that there is a problem. His desk is missing.
That'd be shocking.
Yes.
He's pretty upset about it, and I love Jim because he's just like, take it easy, man. Like, you're the one who lost it.
Yes, yes.
Where was the last place you saw it?
I love that line. Yeah. Take it easy, man. You're the one who lost it.
You need to retrace your steps, all that stuff. So he plays colder, warmer with Dwight as he's first attempting to kind of go tell Michael, basically.
Yep.
But then he realizes that
It's like, okay, he knows where it's at.
yeah,
I think it's because
I can
Dwight
play
just
this
like
game.
is competitive, and so instead of going to Michael, what would be the fun in that when you can all of a sudden play this game?
yeah.
So
for
he's
sure.
like, I'm gonna do this.
So as he plays colder and warmer, he's getting closer and closer to the men's room. And he is red hot once he gets to the men's room door, and he heads inside. And Dwight's desk is set up like to completion inside the men's room.
With functioning electronics.
How long would that have taken, honestly?
Oh, that had to take a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to talk about this. We're going to break it down a little bit more because this is the prank I think that Jim pulls in the episode. So we're going to award it some shoot bucks and we'll break it down. But
Sure.
way to go, Jim. He outdid himself. And so
was
I
amazing.
love that when Dwight walks in, his phone is ringing. He answers the phone, and it's Jim needing to know some information about the discounts.
Yeah. And Dwight's such a good employee, he doesn't just hang up on him like I probably would, but he gives him the info.
Yeah, he's very obedient.
He's like, I've given you this information like 20 times.
And sits
I know.
down and makes himself comfortable.
And then, of course, Kevin walks out with his candle and flushes the toilet.
This is what I
Respectable.
love about that shot. Kevin needed to be reminded to wash his hands.
Yeah.
What happens when somebody's not working in the office?
He
in the
doesn't.
bathroom. He just goes on with his life.
Yeah.
Touches copy machines,
Oof.
answers phones.
Calculators.
Oh, Kevin.
He's all up in that break room, just getting crazy. So we have a clip coming up here, but Jim, we cut back into the office, and Dwight's desk is back where it needs to be. Everything's set up and great. And Jim is making a sales call, important call. But Dwight, it seems like, is making a much more important call. Let's check out this clip.
Hello, it's Senpai. Dwight.
You know what? Let me give you a call right back. I'm going to find it, and then I'll call you back. Thanks.
Yes, I just had a question. Yes, Sensei. Arigato gozaimashita. Hi.
Is that your mom?
No, that was my sensei.
I thought it was your mom.
So Dwight is talking to his sensei.
Of course.
Not his mom.
No, definitely not his mom. And so we hear from Dwight that he is basically...
Wait, hold on. Do we ever hear anything about Dwight's mom? I can't even imagine.
In future episodes,
Who is
a little
Dwight's
bit here
mom?
and there, yeah.
I think we do.
Okay.
But you don't meet her.
I think we hear about Mrs. Schrute.
All right.
It's just offhanded comments.
I'm
mostly.
looking forward to that.
Oh, don't worry.
I can't imagine a Dwight's mom.
Yeah. Well, we do know
Nobody
that
can.
the Schrutes produce very thirsty babies.
Sure.
So we have heard that. So there you go.
She's a trooper.
There you go. So we find out that Dwight is actually learning karate, and that his sensei Ira has recently made him a purple belt and has awarded him the station of senpai, which is basically like assistant sensei.
Yeah. He says not many people know about it, but apparently it's important still.
Sure.
So I actually looked up. So when he's talking on the phone and he says arigato, what do you say? Arigato ganzo master.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's something like that. And I
Yeah.
actually looked it up, and it's just a very long way to say thank you.
Oh.
I thought it was going to be something cooler than that.
Nope. That's probably about all he knows.
Yeah. So then we cut over to Stanley. He's over at Pam's desk, and he's handing something in, but he's basically saying he does not want to stay until 7 p.m. again. And this is where Pam sort of unpacks and talks about this idea that Michael's great at procrastinating. And
Surprise.
there are these things where he's got to like sign the purchase orders, he's got to approve the time cards, all that. And there's one time a year.
Regular admin jobs.
Yeah, and it should be stuff that as long as he takes care of it, it doesn't stack up, it's not a big deal.
Sure.
But there's one time of year where all of them the due date falls on the exact same Friday. And she calls that the perfect storm. And then we cut to Michael Scott. And what I would say is one of my favorite classic Michael Scott moments.
This is a good one, yeah.
With his coffee mug, banging on the mug.
Ding, 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 ding.
Let me see if I can...
Okay.
I don't want to work. I just want to bang on this mug all day. So good. So Ryan pops in the office, and Michael tells him, hey, I have a secret mission for you. It's very important.
Very
Go,
important.
Michael. He's
Yeah.
pulling a Jim.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want you to update all of the emergency info.
Oh, yeah.
Big
Yeah.
deal.
Priorities.
Indeed. And speaking of priorities, that's kind of the way that Pam's looking at it. She's
Sure.
like, is this a priority? Like, you have all these things that we need you to get done before 7 p.m. I've prepped it. I've put the stickers where you need to sign. Can you just take care of it? And
I know where to sign, Pam.
Yeah.
Well, and then when Pam is like kind of... I almost use the term freaking out, but she's really not.
No, she's not.
She is
yeah.
actually being completely
Because she knows she's
rational
been here
and
before.
like... She's not asking too much from
Sure.
Michael.
No.
Just, hey, Michael, can you do your job?
Exactly.
please?
Yes.
I feel like she asks that every day in a different way for a different reason.
That is
Just,
absolutely true.
Michael, can you do your job?
So then he says, number one, he says, shellax, which,
Shellax.
yes, when we're looking at the Netflix captions,
Yeah.
it was spelled Shallax, shellax. I have no idea what that means.
Shellax, Pam.
I mean, chillax.
So chillax, really.
It's really cool.
equivalent
But where's the
Okay, calm down.
that sound?
Yes. Well, I mean, chillax, that's what all the cool kids are saying nowadays, right?
Yeah.
On the schoolyard.
Adam,
Sure.
you know, you're cooking.
Yeah, I mean, I hang out with lots
Bod.
of kids nowadays.
You know a lot of 14
Yeah, I know a lot of 14-year-old girls.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So he tells her to shellax, and then he tells her to stop PMMSing.
Oh.
PMSing. Very creative.
I'm not going to lie, that's a good one, Mike.
And so she just doesn't think that it's a big priority here. And Michael lays out this awesome tornado scenario where your legs are destroyed and you're pinned, and you need somebody to call your wife, but we don't have the contact info.
That happens. Because
Sorry.
everybody else will
Yeah.
be fine
Yeah.
during this tornado, but they're just worried about you and your legs.
And if you're
That's right.
pinned,
and they need to call somebody to help you because nobody else is affected by this.
But we didn't
tornado.
update your emergency info,
Sure.
so you're just
Yeah.
going to
So
stay
as
under
we're
this
going
rubble.
through the files, we just don't know.
hey,
Oh.
hold on. I see that you're stuck there. Let me call your emergency contact.
Oh, sorry, our files are not updated, therefore I can't.
We can't call anybody.
Yeah. Dang it.
Thanks,
Sit there.
Pam.
I guess you live there now.
Yep. This is your new life now.
So Pam walks away, and it really, kind of annoys Michael because it's like, as the boss, if you're cool, they walk all over you, but if you're hard, they disrespect you. It's catch-22.
Catch-22.
And then Michael's like, you know what? In an effort to get it started with, getting our emergency info, let me get your cell phone number from Ryan.
Right. Yes.
Seems harmless, right?
Almost.
So in this next clip, Ryan, he's going around and he's starting the secret mission. He's updating the emergency info. But then he gets a call from, I would say, a pretty big celebrity. So let's check out this clip.
Larissa Halpert.
What's her address?
117 Von Bergen Street.
Hello.
Calling from Wonderland.
From Wonderland.
You mean Neverland?
This is Tito.
And then he loses it.
What?
What?
I love that Michael Scott is just losing it. And you know what? Good on Michael Scott, because he did like a decent Michael Jackson, and then he changed it up a little bit for Tito too. You know what I mean? He's just
Okay, and who's Tito?
Yeah, who's Tito?
Oh gosh.
Yes, I'm not the only one.
Okay, so
Old man. Who's Tito?
so Michael Jackson had a lot of brothers and sisters.
Uh-huh.
One of his brothers was Tito.
How would we know
You ever heard of the Jackson 5?
family?
You ever heard of the Jackson 5?
Okay, yes,
Of
I know
course.
Jackson 5.
Blame
Yeah.
It on the Boogie is still one of my favorite songs.
There you go.
There, Tito.
You've just answered my question. Your own question, sorry. So on the next... So the next clip goes over to Jim and Pam, and Jim is over at Pam's desk, and she's reading his palm.
Honestly, he's
Yeah.
at her desk. So weird.
He's kind of leaning
Never see that.
like way in there.
Okay, there was a point where I'm like, holy cow, I never talk to anybody that close. Even you when I like you. That was
It's true, guys.
they
Yeah, I
are
mean, you could say
That's
that
true, I
you
like
that you guys like each other.
but we never talked that close. That was
They're close talking.
they are getting there, guys.
They're close talking, and then she is like, the handhold is lingering.
Oh wait, I didn't. What?
Did you notice this?
yeah.
No,
So
I
she's
missed that.
reading Jim's palm,
Oh,
and then like kind of the
right.
reading ends, but the embrace of the hand, and
You were
people listening
really
can't
paying
see this, but
attention.
I'm like demonstrating with my two hands
I know.
what
He's,
their
like,
two hands are
caressing his
doing.
hand.
He's very good at
He's
yes.
making me
At
very
holding my own
uncomfortable right
hands,
now.
yeah.
Yes.
At flirting by holding my own hands. It's great.
Yeah.
So there's some a
I
little
was
bit of
like,
flirting
I
going on
like
here.
me too.
I like my holding my
I'm
hand.
going to send myself a note that says check yes or no. So then Ryan is over at accounting, and he's getting Kevin's contact info. And like, this isn't really the focal point of the scene, but what's interesting is the way that Kevin says his emergency contact. Did you notice this?
It's like
Stacy.
yeah, he's very like spaced out about it.
It's almost like he's making it up. He's like,
You know what? I didn't think about it that way,
Stacy?
but that is definitely. Oh my gosh.
He's like, I know people. People care about me.
So while he is taking down Kevin's info, his phone rings again. It's obvious that it's Michael. He's not going to answer it, but then he hears a knock on the window. He turns around, and Michael is in his office at the window, holding the phone up against the window, and says, "Hey, pick up." And it seems like serious.
Yeah.
Although
like it's business related.
he's right outside the door. But when Ryan answers it, he gets another phone call from a pretty big celebrity. Hey, Ryan, this is Mike Tyson.
That was pretty good, Mike Tyson. Yours was
Michael Scott's Mike Tyson is like, that's a moment in this episode that kills me every time. It's so,
I do not know Mike Tyson. Then does he talk like a
well,
little
but it doesn't
girl?
sound like Mike Tyson.
Oh.
it's so good because he's enjoying it so much.
Yeah.
Michael's having such a good time. Can you do a Mike Tyson, Adam Jones?
Oh no, it would be very no, it would be bad.
Just every
Okay, go
every
ahead.
S, just add a to it.
that's what I
do.
was gonna do.
You could do
Okay,
it.
go ahead.
But you could do better than I could. Give me your best one.
Say
I mean, come on.
the seventh Sith. I don't know
Oh
why
boy,
I said
no,
that.
I
wouldn't
can't
even
think this.
thought
I feel like my brain's gonna like do like.
Okay,
Just
say
say-
anything.
Hey Ryan, it's Mike Tyson. No, say, hey Ryan, this is Mike Tyson.
Hey, Duran, this is Mike Tyson.
Honestly, that wasn't bad. I don't know Mike Tyson though.
Okay, now
He definitely has a lisp.
let's take it to the main event, Andy.
Wait, I don't even know Mike Tyson. Okay,
Okay,
so
you
what am
want
I
me to
supposed
do it
what's the
again?
rules?
Let
What's the
Lambert do his
rules?
best one.
I will do it
Okay.
again, and then you just mimic what you hear.
Okay, got it.
Hey Ryan, this is Mike Tyson.
Hey Ryan, this is Mike Tyson.
Oh, okay,
that's not
that
too
was
bad.
not bad. I mean, I thought it was
I
just
had
going
to
to be
close my
another
eyes. I had to
famous Andy
really
impersonation.
channel it.
You thought it was just going to be, hey Ryan, this is Mike Tyson.
Yes, that's exactly how I thought that was going to go. It was just
well
the same.
done. Oh, well done.
Overachiever over
Very
here.
nice.
No, that was
Very nice.
good. That was
Proud.
good.
So
Does
proud.
he really have a high voice though? I guess I don't remember that about him.
Yeah. I mean, it's not as high and as accentuated as Michael is, obviously.
Right,
Is
right.
he the one that ate an ear?
Yes.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I
And
know
yes.
that. Okay.
wait, who's the grill guy?
Oh, that's George Foreman.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Different.
A different Tyson.
George Foreman is the guy who named all 7 of his sons George.
Wow.
No way.
Mike Tyson is the one who bit Evander Holyfield's ear and got a face tattoo. That's how you can remember the two.
Oh, thank you. Man, geez.
Tear.
There you go.
A little wealth of information we got over
Indeed,
here.
just this
Honestly.
useless good Mike
For
Tyson.
real. And then he's always shocked as if I know nothing, but he just knows too much.
Yeah.
It's not that I know nothing.
There.
He knows too much.
If that makes you sleep at night,
He
Andy.
knows too much. That was a Keanu Reeves. So anyway, so then Jim is back sitting at his desk and he's talking with Dwight, and he's basically asking him this question about humans and robots coexisting. And Dwight does not think that's going to happen because of the programming. But then Dwight realizes that Jim is kind of making fun of him. So he offers him some advice and basically says, my purple belt makes it clear that I could physically dominate him. I would make an example out of you.
Right.
Jim clarifies, no. Advice would be don't bring your purple belt to work because somebody might steal it.
And he pulls it out, yeah.
And it's a toy, is basically the conversation they have there. But then Dwight basically says, look, it's not a toy. It's a message. It's a message that says I could physically dominate anyone in this office. And then we cut to a scene of Dwight ravaging, just uppercutting.
With you can't see it, but I'm doing this little wrist
It's like that thing that they always told you in grade school, like don't hit somebody in the nose because you can push their nose into their brain and kill
exactly.
them.
Oh,
Right.
that is in women's self-defense classes. That's what they tell us to do.
Oh, kill people.
So
okay, great.
no,
yeah.
you knee them in the groins and then you
In the
push up on their
groins.
face.
You need them in both of their groins
Kneel him in the groins.
and then kill them with their nose.
You guys are so
Shove their brain into their nose.
awesome.
But the best part about this clip is that Dwight just looks like a kid in the candy shop hitting this dummy, and he turns back to the camera and he's like,
He's
look at what I'm doing.
Look what I can do.
He's so happy, and he's like, I'm glad you're getting footage of this because this is going to make someone proud.
Yes,
to see
exactly.
this.
That's
Hey,
exactly how he
Mom,
looks.
look what I can do.
Like, take this footage and go show it to Sensei Ira because he might. What's after purple belt?
Oh,
Black.
I don't know.
No?
It can't. No way.
Oh, it doesn't.
No
We need to ask our
way.
coworker Nick. He
I'll just
knows.
say
Okay,
red.
hang on. I'm going to Google this because there is.
That's my guess. Oh, yellow? No, yellow's probably the beginning.
You're just picking random colors?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, for real. Chartreuse.
A magenta.
Oh, it's yellow.
Pink belt.
Okay, so let's see here. What oh geez. This is good radio. Okay, here we go. The belt system from white to black. Because there's no way that it goes purple to black.
No,
You
no,
think
no.
Dwight would be a black belt?
All right, where's
Here's
Dwight at right
here's
now?
my guess. What's your guess? Mine is yellow.
Oh, I don't know if I can guess next color. I'm going to guess how far it is down the chain. I only think that's probably 3 belts down from white. That's what I'm going to say.
I don't know that language. I say yellow.
I'm trying to think on a scale 1 to 10.
Okay, so it goes, according to this,
Uh-huh.
and this is, they're talking about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so this is probably a little bit different, but this is the
could be.
fastest website I could find in order to not bog the show down, so here we go. So white belt, blue belt, then purple,
I said 3.
okay,
Just so
and
everybody
then
knows.
it goes brown, and then it goes black.
Oh, brown.
Oh, okay.
Ew. Who wants to be a brown belt?
Yeah,
You know,
I'm a
you
brown
know, maybe
belt.
you should go to a
Emoji.
brown belt and say that to their face. And
Yeah,
see what
they would physically dominate you, and then you'd be like, "You're full of food."
That's all I got too. That's my only fighting words. You're full of food, and then I run.
Yep, and then she
We
runs
should
away
explain.
from
That's
the
from
brown
the.
belt.
Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry, that is from
That's from
true.
Patreon.
Sign
No
up
more.
if you want to hear that
Yeah.
story.
So if you want to hear that story about Andy verbally slaughtering
Yes.
someone.
Just
In a
eviscerating
fight.
someone. So good. So he's uppercutting the dummy, and it's just a kid in a candy store. So then we see that Michael is in his office, and he's wasting time. He's signing his name on this big piece of paper in all these different ways, and he's getting super existential about it. Like, this is the yin and the yang and all that stuff.
And his handwriting is pretty neat.
It is
He
decent.
had some cool fonts going.
But what's interesting is that all he has to do is do what he's doing on all these other pieces of paper,
Yes.
and
Sure.
he'll kill
Exactly.
2 birds with one stone.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so Pam pops in and just says, "Hey, why don't you practice on the forms?" Ooh, burn.
Oh baby.
Or
Pam.
yay, save the day.
Yeah.
Truth.
Pam just, speaking of eviscerating somebody with words, Michael looks so defeated.
Why don't you just
after
do
that.
that on the
That's right.
forms?
So then Jim and Dwight are over at the supply closet, and they're sort of running down a list of all the people that Jim wants to know if Dwight could beat up. And this is where sort of it starts to get crazy, because he mentions Michael, and Michael's like, "There's no way." And Dwight's like,
As
"Oh yeah,
he's walking by.
because we're friends. Because we're friends."
Yeah,
and he's
'cause
like,
we're
"No,
friends."
because I would destroy you, basically. Like,
Yes.
I would totally kick your butt." And Michael basically tells us that he's used to run with a rough crowd. He used to beat up black belts.
Sure.
Yeah. Now, is Michael delusional at this point, or what? How does he come? I used to run with a rough crowd. Is he just talking out of his mouth?
I mean,
Michael is Michael.
the thing that's hard. Okay, so let's put a pin in that. So we get a quick little thing of Ryan getting Toby's.
Sure.
Poor Toby's info about his ex-wife.
Yeah, it has to be brought up.
But then when it comes back, Michael is sitting on the desk of Jim, and he's wrapping up a story where he says, "And after that, nobody messed with the damn rascals," which we can only assume is the name of his gang.
This
Yeah.
gang
like he was a part
involved
of the Little Rascals, maybe.
I think it's from the movie Little Rascals, and he's
Yeah.
imagining it in his head
Yeah.
that this was
But
really
the truth
something.
is, when can we remember a moment where Michael is honestly saying, "No, I've never done that," or "I'm not good at that," or "I can't fight"? Like, there's never
Sure.
a moment where Michael will admit to any sort of weakness. So
He
if
says,
a fight
Yeah.
is on the table, then of course Michael has fought, and of course he's going to win.
he says that he ran with a rough crowd. He beat up black belts. They were
Sure.
Street Fighter types.
Okay.
And they told him that they were black belts
Afterwards.
Can
after
we
the fight.
Yeah.
can we even imagine Michael as a kid, or like in junior
Oh
high?
man, that could be a spin-off. They
Why
did that with
do
Big
I
Bang
still
Theory.
imagine that
Oh,
he's wearing
yeah.
little suits?
Oh my gosh.
Oh no, I would see him wearing little suits.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe a fanny pack
Well,
and a fedora.
in a future episode, you do see him on a kids show.
Yeah,
in a s-
exactly.
in a little
Exactly.
suit.
Oh, that is true.
So, but I'm just saying, we get Michael Scott talking about beating up black belts, running with a rough crowd, and then we hear that he was in a gang called the Damn Rascals. Like, maybe there was like a rough street side of Michael Scott.
I would never believe it.
Maybe.
All right, I guess we'll
But then
see.
on the flip side, cool guy Jim comes out, and
yeah, when you're a jet, you're a jet.
when you're a jet, you're a jet.
That's
Hey,
right.
Michael, you're a jet.
Yes,
Very
no,
very serious. Yes. I love that part so much.
good. So Angela asks, Angela pops in, asks if he signed the forms, and he obviously has not. But as Michael says he's getting ready to head back into his office, he then sneaks up on Dwight, puts him in a sleeper hold. Probably the lamest, most sloppy sleeper hold I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But Dwight is having a very hard time getting out of it. And I love that Michael Scott's go-to in that moment is, "You are the weakest link."
Yeah. That's a Trumpism, isn't it?
No.
Wait, what is that from? No, that was a game show, wasn't
Yes,
it?
yes.
I was thinking of
I can't even imagine.
I was thinking of what's Trump's show?
You're Fired.
You're fired.
Oh,
That's
You're
what I'm thinking
Fired.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Apprentice.
Weakest Link. No, was a
Yeah, it was a game show.
in the early 2000s. I don't
Yeah,
think
so
I ever
you're
watched
like
it.
all working together.
Yeah.
But then whoever got the lowest score, people would vote to try to vote some. It was kind of like Survivor.
Wasn't it some British lady? too?
Yes.
Yeah, hosting
and
it.
so you
Yeah,
get this
yeah,
this
yeah.
crazy British lady
I can't
who she would
imagine
always
this.
be like, whoever got the most votes, she'd be like, "You are the weakest link. Goodbye."
Bye. Yeah.
So I just love that.
Reality TV at its golden age.
Yes,
was right
where you
here.
could just insult people on the air and make fun of them. But I just love that he has him in a sleeper hold, and then he says that he's the weakest link. It's so good. Of all the things he could say, he could have told him he was full of food, but no,
You're full of food.
he went with the
It's a
weakest link.
good one, folks.
Yeah.
Always win with that one.
So we have another clip coming up here, but as Michael is finishing putting Dwight in the sleeper hold, we get this interview where he sort of talks about a very key part of his management style.
I'm friends with everybody in this office. We're all best friends. I love everybody here. But sometimes your best friends start coming into work late and start having dentist appointments that aren't dentist appointments, and that is when it's nice to let them know that you could beat them up.
Listen, folks, as your leader, I need you to know I could kill you.
Yeah, he wants them to know he's the alpha.
It's good management style
Sure.
when
Totally.
you can express that to
Yeah,
people.
make the ladder the ladder very clear, the ladder of authority. It's good. So Michael then is trying to get somebody to hit him. He's trying to show how tough he is. He wants Jim to punch him. Jim says that he just got a manicure, so he can't.
Of course.
And then we get an excellent reference here where Michael calls him a queer.
Queer
Queer Eye. Very important show, he says.
making a comeback.
And this was before, but it's still so true today.
Did you ever see the
Yeah.
original Queer Eye?
Queer Eye, you know,
Yes.
I did see the original Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, I think is what
Right,
it
that
used
was
to
the
be called.
title. Yeah,
And we've talked about this, I think, on previous Patreon.
on Patreon. Yeah,
Not the same. It didn't have the same amount of heart.
that's it.
It just didn't. It didn't have the same amount.
From what
of
I've seen, from what I've been referenced from the
I
original.
still really
yeah.
liked it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I liked about it, and
The original
current
you're
show,
talking
yeah,
about?
the original.
Okay.
The current show still has this, but the original had really cool before and afters.
Oh, okay.
And that's always
Okay.
cool.
Yeah, I can see that.
Everybody wants to see a Cinderella story.
Totally.
And they do that.
But I think it's no secret that we are big fans of Netflix's reboot of Queer Eye.
Yes.
So much heart. Oh my gosh, it's so good.
Very good.
I think Rob cried one time. I don't remember the episode, but I
cried
do remember
once.
that you cried.
You will shut your
I honestly,
He's about to cry right now.
I know. Just thinking about it.
Oh,
I
we're about
haven't
to
cried
experience a
yet,
fight
but
right here
Rob
on the show.
definitely has.
I did
sweet.
cry.
Calling you a sissy.
I did start to cry from one episode, and you can go subscribe to our Patreon if you want to hear that story. Okay, so then,
there you go.
so Dwight, he basically tells, so Jim tells Michael, we'll have Dwight punch you, and Michael basically says, no, Dwight can't do it. He's a wuss. He cried at Armageddon.
Didn't everybody?
Haven't seen that movie.
What?
I was just gonna say, what is
Add it to the list.
You've never seen
Rob,
Armageddon?
How have you seen and know everything?
Rob, basically, his childhood must have been watching movies.
It's not. I mean, these are.
He's so
And
disrespectful.
now, true story.
These are
And
very
it comes
popular
out.
movies in their day. Okay, so you've never seen Armageddon?
When was that released? I don't even know.
I'm gonna say 1998.
You want to know how old I was in
Let me-
1998, Lambert?
Wait, is Armageddon the one with the pretty girl, Liv?
I'm gonna
I
Google it.
was 6 years old.
Armageddon release date June 30th, 1998.
Wow.
Oh my,
Oh my gosh.
He is, what a
Guys.
man.
So you were 6 years old.
I would have let my 6-year-old watch Armageddon. No, I'm just kidding.
Is that
right,
the one
yeah.
with the pretty girl? With
What does that mean?
That pretty girl?
she's got like
Are you talking
long
about Liv
dark
Tyler?
hair. Yeah, Liv.
Yeah, it had Liv
yeah.
Tyler, Ben Affleck,
Oh, then I think I
Bruce Willis.
I at least know
Oh,
about
wow.
It had an all-star cast.
it.
It
Okay,
was very
okay.
good.
Was it a good movie?
It's one of the. I would say it's one of those films that is just a joyride. It's not going to
Is
make
it
you
John
think.
Wick?
Yeah, it's not going to make
Oh,
you think
gosh.
deep. It's got some good comedic parts. It's got a lot of stars in it. It had some good moments.
A lot of stars like people.
It will make you cry at the end. Dwight is not a wuss for crying. Armageddon.
Okay, all right.
Anyway, so then Michael says, "Fine." Well, this is actually the reference where Michael says, "I know a ton of 14-year-old girls who could punch better than Dwight."
Yes.
And Jim is like, "You know a bunch of 14-year-old girls?"
Yeah.
Chris Hansen.
So to all
Anyways,
of our listeners who didn't understand that reference originally,
yeah,
not a creep.
there you go.
Well, that's debatable.
just to clarify. So then Michael's like, "Fine, Dwight, let's go." And Dwight punches the crap out of him.
The 1-2.
It's like it's a very sloppy, weird-looking punch,
Yeah.
but it is quite effective.
Yeah.
Because Michael basically almost loses his lunch.
Yeah.
And then
He's so funny as he goes down.
he makes his way into his office and just
Grabs.
collapses and like pulls everything off the desk. Like I don't. Oh, it's so good. It's great.
Yeah, he's way over the top dramatic.
Very dramatic about it.
He's just seeing stars in that moment. There's nothing he can do about it. So then we find out that Dwight comes from a long list of fighters. His grandpa fought in World War II, hero, and his dad fought obesity and high blood pressure.
Of course.
A different kind of fight.
Yeah.
We all do.
So then Jim and Pam are then conspiring. They got to stop Dwight. We got to figure out a way to stop this guy because he's just the power is going to his head. And it's funny because in the background we see Dwight and Kevin practicing.
Yes. Yeah.
Kevin is assaulting him with a ballpoint pen, and he's showing him how to get out of it. I guess I don't know.
It's very funny.
Yeah, but Jim and Pam concoct this awesome plan. We got this clip coming up, and Pam approaches Michael about making Dwight stay late to walk her to her car, and Michael thinks this is not a good idea.
Pam, I hate to break this to you, but Dwight can't stop you from being mugged. He's just not tough enough.
He's a purple belt. That's really high.
Oh, I could beat up
really
Dwight. It's ridiculous. I can murder him.
It's just that out there, you.
Oh, is that what they're saying?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
Oh, it's on now.
Where's Dwight?
Kitchen.
Okay.
Oh, here comes sassy Michael.
Okay.
I love how Jim is behind him doing the jet,
The jet,
Yeah.
yeah.
snapping the fingers. It's so good.
Yeah.
Good.
Wow, it's actually pretty close, right?
Now watch, let me take you from behind.
Oh, that's what she said.
I didn't sucker punch you, Michael.
No, really?
In case you remember, I was defending my honor.
Oh, is that
like
it?
a samurai.
Really? Well, the offer, Dwight, was for one punch, which I absorbed. I had no idea that there'd be a second punch, so catch 22.
Okay, fine.
Catch 22.
Tit for tit. Give it your best shot.
I
Two
love that.
punches.
Tit
Go.
for tit, a nice reference
Look,
back.
if we were in a bar right now, there would be two punches. Me punching you and you hitting the floor.
No, I'd block your first punch,
Yeah.
rendering you ineffective.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You know what? You're just lucky that we're at work right now.
Ooh, what about Dwight's dojo?
There you go. And so Jim is like, you know what? Maybe we could figure out a way to settle this.
Yeah, and I love that Pam's going along with this, even though she knows 7:00 deadline. There is mounting paperwork.
It's gonna be
you
so
want it
worth
no
worth
matter
Oh,
what.
for sure, I would do it.
It's going to be so worth it. And yeah, I love the tit for tit reference back.
Yes.
by Dwight. So good. But Jim brings up the dojo, and we find out that, hey, it's open during the day. Dwight has a key. And Mike says, you know what? Fine. Let's do this. At lunch, let's make it happen. Pam, make an announcement. Work out the carpools. We're going to do this.
I honestly want to work in a workplace like this. I feel like
Don't
this is
we?
what
Where people
makes
get in a
work-
fight.
No, more just like
Do you want me to beat you up tomorrow when we go to work? 'Cause
No.
I can.
No,
Just punch you in the gut.
actually, I would be afraid of Andy being mad.
It's a tornado of teeth and fingernails
Oh yeah.
Yikes!
and fists.
I want to work in a place where anything could. I think Jim. The only thing that makes Jim happy about this job is anything could happen today,
Sure,
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is true.
and we could all take carpooling for lunch to the dojo today.
Yeah. When he woke up, was he thinking, you know what would be awesome today? Let's take a carpool to the dojo. Nope.
to
It
watch
just-
my boss fight another man.
It just happened.
Yeah.
And that's the glory of working at the office. It's good stuff. Mm-hmm. So
So
speaking
tomorrow, guys,
of, hey, you know, we wake up tomorrow. Who knows what could happen?
let's do it.
There could be a fight.
If we ask our coworker Nick, he could bring some sparring stuff.
He does know
That's
karate.
true.
And he can do a
So
no-hand cartwheel. So he's a
Everybody,
dangerous man.
if you
Yeah.
are not following our Instagram, you may want to start because you never know what's going to turn up at our office.
Oh, baby.
Oh.
And speaking of, you probably want to follow us on Patreon so you can see that sweet,
Yeah.
sweet video of not
The cartwheel.
only Adam Jones doing a cartwheel on the
Uh-huh.
roof of our building, but you get to see Nick, the one we're bragging about,
Referencing.
do a no-hand.
That is
It's called
true.
something cool. I don't
And
remember.
listen, I've got some belts.
Like a no-hand cartwheel. It's amazing.
I've got belts.
I have a black belt at home.
yeah, I've
I
got
have a brown belt
one.
and a black
I
belt.
have brown too.
I bought it at
Oh, yeah.
American Eagle. So
Oh, so there.
there you go.
And my belt's got some gold in it, so I think it means I win.
There you go.
Oh,
So speaking of Jim, he is incredibly excited for the fight. He mentions that the Albany branch, is working through lunch to avoid downsizing. But here in Scranton, Michael is extending their lunch by an hour so they can go to the dojo and fight. So
Yes.
perfect.
So better office, they win.
once again, priorities.
Mm-hmm.
So now we're at the dojo. Dwight is stretching, preparing for the battle that's about to take place. Michael is looking at the wall and misreading Japanese.
That's a California roll.
Yeah, a guy told me about that. Oh,
no,
geez.
it's not.
And we see that Jim and Pam are over in the corner, and they're kind
Giggle,
of
giggle, shushy, shushy.
yes, they're doing their little giggle, and she's got one of those like practice pads on her hand, and he's pretending to read, and
Her palm.
they start flirting, and then this is when we get that good classic Jim and Pam awkward. She like tries to shoulder tackle him, and then he's picking her up, and things get really
She
awkward.
gets half naked.
I want to make it very clear: she's enjoying herself until Meredith looks back.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah.
Once she realizes that Meredith looks at her, then she gets a little self-conscious, but
Yeah.
it
gosh.
definitely
So,
gets weird.
okay.
This is
So,
cringy.
It gets
Did
weird.
did I miss? So what happens is they're pretending to fight, and then he comes up behind her, picks her up, her shirt goes up, and they're all like, and then what? Like they're just holding each other?
No, so like he's pretending to read her hand, and then like,
Okay.
haha, I can't, and then she bops him, and she's like,
Okay.
I scored a point, and then he bops her on the head, I scored a point.
Oh, whoa, what?
So then they start like bopping each other, but then she does this thing where she like drops her
Shoulder.
shoulder and like tries to run into him,
Oh,
but
so
he like
they are like junior high,
Yes.
hardcore.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to touch your body, flirting.
kind of, and
Like
then
you smell like Bod,
Andy's an
kind of like
expert in
Adam.
this.
she
Yeah.
if you listen,
I-
if you watch on Netflix and you
I
look
read
at the
flirt.
if you watch on Netflix and you look at the caption, there's just a small portion where you hear Pam whisper, "I want your bod," and then
Okay,
There, that's
okay.
it,
yeah, it's
Yeah.
the Axe body spray.
Yeah, yeah.
It's good for you.
Sure.
It was bod.
Yes, Bodman. Bodman by
Starts to climb the fence.
Body Fantasy. Anyways, yeah, she
So
was.
then he ends
she
up
was climbing the
arms
fence
around
of
her,
Jim's
shirt
love.
up, and
Yeah.
Meredith's like, get a room.
Yeah, it's just very. It
It's
gets very
this is
awkward.
awkward.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then the fight starts. The Sensei Ira is laying down the ground rules, and Michael is like, "Man, that seems like a lot of rules back on the street with the damn rascals." By the way,
Yeah,
we get
yeah.
another. We just
Reference
one
to
more
his
reference
gang.
in. We're learning more about it.
Was hardcore.
That's right. The rules that they only had one rule: no kicks to the groin. Home for dinner.
Uh-huh.
That may be reinforcing the little rascals thing.
I'm serious.
Yeah.
I think that's what this is.
The home for dinner really seals the deal. So then the fight begins, and first point to Dwight. Just comes right out of the gate. Nice kick.
I love that Michael's reference to rebellion is them like the No Girls Allowed sort of club.
The He-Man Woman Haters Club.
Oh, that's awesome. What was that letter? It was, dear
Dear Darla.
Dear Darla, I hate your stinking guts.
There you go.
You are scum between my toes.
You make me vomit. Yep.
Oh, if he's referencing the Little Rascals, I like him more.
It kind of
it's so
there's
great.
more credibility
So
toward that argument than there initially was. So you may be right on
Yeah,
that.
I like that.
So first point goes to Dwight with that sweet kick, but then Michael kind of gets in the zone and starts jumping around like a weird kangaroo
Yeah, he
style.
does this like awkward old man like double tap. Like, what is that called when you go to the side and
You're,
your
like,
feet,
juking?
like, yeah.
He's, like, trying to, like,
clap
fake him out.
almost.
Yeah.
And then he kicks Dwight in the pants. There's no points for pants kicking.
Of course.
And then he calls Dwight a big idiot. So just all that good stuff. Then they get into like that good slap fighting
Yeah.
that you would expect from a purple belt, I think.
Sure. You were going to say from a woman, but then you looked across the table and here I sit.
I was not.
Okay.
It's making fun of Dwight Senpai.
I'm going to do Stanley's.
So then, and then Michael's just really sort of bullying Dwight. Just like, I'm surprised that he's not like, stop hitting yourself. Stop hitting
Yes,
yourself.
yeah.
He's like turning his mask so he can't see. And then he's like going to hock a
definitely
loogie on him.
cheating.
Yeah, yeah.
He kind of humiliated Dwight.
Sure.
He
in this
did.
moment. And then they, so that's the end of the fight and they're going to head back to the office. But before they do, something that I noticed when I watch through, I like to look for little details. And back on the wall of the dojo, there is a poster that is the 10 rules of karate.
Oh.
And I think it gives us a glimpse into the kind of dojo that Sensei Ira is running.
Kids dojo.
Yeah, so there's 10 rules, but we can only make out 4 of them. So rule number 1 of karate is obey your parents.
Okay.
Cool.
Rule number 2 is no junk food.
It's a pretty good rule.
Lame.
Rule number 3, which I think really makes sense for karate, is do your homework. And then we skip down to number 10, which is, of course, in all caps, have fun.
Okay.
So
Sure.
those are I mean, if that's true, I feel like I'm almost a black belt.
Straight from.
Yeah, you got.
I have
those
trouble
down.
with the junk
karate
food,
wisdom.
but
Yeah.
those are the 10 rules of karate. So they're back at the office, and Michael is feeling so good about himself. I mean,
He is.
he's imitating
Cloud nine.
Pacino,
Yes.
which is a horrible miss. It's actually Robert De Niro.
You talking to me?
In The Taxi Driver. He totally botched that one. But yeah. And then he sees Ryan down having lunch by his car and gives him another phone call, but he ignores the call.
He very dramatically rolls his eyes and
Yes.
ignores the call.
This is probably good for Michael at this point because
Yeah.
he's so high and just to get a little knock. Like Ryan doesn't want to talk to me. It's probably healthy for him.
Knock him down
Yeah.
a couple rungs.
Well, and
Yeah.
then also
Bring him back down to earth.
it's no longer funny when you like do 15 or 20 prank calls. By the third, you're kind of over it. So he needed to see that. You like the prank calls.
He was hitting it out of the park with Michael Jackson and Mike Tyson. I just think it was so good. Oh man! But we get a glimpse back at Ryan, and he's showing us that he has 7 new voicemails.
Yeah.
We had a Saddam Hussein reference.
Can he do it?
No. No.
Doesn't hurt to ask because you can do an impersonation of anything.
Saddam Hussein and then Ryan's girlfriend, who is, I'm so mad.
I'm your girlfriend and I'm mad.
Yeah.
Because that's how we talk, ladies.
There you go. So then we cut back into the office and Dwight is eating edamame. He is very much trying to just engulf himself in that good Japanese culture. It's going to make him feel better. We see that Jim is sort of typing up an apology to Pam, but then when he sees that the camera sees it, he quickly deletes it.
Yeah.
Feeling a little bit bad about the awkward situation that happened. And then we cut into Michael's office, and he's giving his emergency contact info to Ryan, and he said that his contact is Todd Packer. Todd F. Packer.
This is the worst emergency contact
I know. Can you
ever.
imagine? What would
He's
Todd
drunk
do?
half the time.
Yeah. Like you get a call and you're like, Michael's been in a tornado and his legs are stuck under a desk. What would Packer do?
Oh, I mean, there's so many possibilities.
It's probably some
Give me
reference to Sniffing a dude's thong.
Yes. I was just thinking, I was like, he'd like come hours later and be like, oh, Michael, I was like banging these chicks at the hotel. Like,
I would have got here sooner, but I can't drive because I got a DUI.
yeah, exactly. All these things would have come up from Todd Packer. This is who is.
Okay,
Next
other
contact.
than your wives, because you guys are new to Utah, yeah? Other than your wives, who would be your emergency contact?
Adam Jones.
And why?
Oh, nice.
Why?
Now you have to
Because
say
he's
me.
just so responsible.
Rob Lambert.
And he smells like bud.
Yeah.
Who is yours?
Oh. Okay, other than my husband.
I didn't know this was gonna get turned around on me.
Oh, how the tables.
have turned.
It'd probably be my neighbors.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's great. That was boring. So then, so yeah, his contact would be Todd F. Packer, and then he wants to make it clear. Do you know what the F?
Do you know what the F stands for?
Yeah.
Frank?
You a big William Hung fan?
So then Dwight pops his head in, and he wants to make sure that he changes his from Michael Scott to the hospital. And for the contact number, just put 911.
I love how when he says, just put the hospital.
Last name hospital.
Yeah, the hospital.
And I love that Michael is like, you know what? After Dwight leaves, he's like, you know what? Just leave me on there. If he gets hurt, I'll call the hospital.
Yeah.
Cut out the
middleman. Along with Catch-22, Michael also does not understand what it means to cut the middleman.
Yeah, or who the middleman
Add
is.
this to the list.
He's not self-aware enough to know that he is the middleman. So then everybody is leaving for the day, and Jim drops off the chips that he owed Pam. We didn't reference that earlier, but when they're putting together kind of the plan to get Michael and Dwight to fight, he's going to owe her a bag of chips if she plays along.
Right.
So.
And she got super moody during that flirt bit, which is weird. She is a moody one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim is moody sometimes too, though. So.
That is true. He was moody last episode.
sure.
Remember that job in Maryland?
Oh,
yeah.
They just
wow, they are
a couple
of
moody moodersons.
Oh man,
she's Louise.
Middle school relationships.
I know. So he drops off the chips as sort of like making good, but also it's a little bit of a peace offering, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is.
You know, just to kind of clear the air. And then,
sun chips. Do you forgive me?
Yeah, it was good sour cream.
We know.
Honestly,
you got to sometimes offer food.
Yeah, food for a woman. Yes, we will always forgive you. Yes, bring me food.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yep.
Yes.
Gentlemen, it's good advice.
Tacos and margaritas.
Dang. So then Ryan, it's the end of the day. Ryan comes in. He drops off all of the... he's completed the secret mission.
Mm-hmm.
All of the emergency contacts. He drops them off. Good stuff. Michael asks him if he has any weekend plans. And he's like, I might do this. I might do that. And he's like, well, hit me up. And then Ryan says... I'll see you Monday.
That's a very, right? That's a pretty good way of just being like, hey, we're not going to.
Yeah. It's a little subtle, I think, you know? I don't even think that Michael picked up on it.
I'm not going to see you.
He always crosses a line, little Michael, where you're not sure, like, is he flirting with Ryan? Like, you know, he always talks about how good looking he is and how cool he is, but
on the desert
is
earth, who would you bang?
Yeah,
who would you bang?
Flirting
I would have sex with Ryan.
So if I were Ryan, I would always have to make sure he knew, no. Like, this isn't happening. I'm not going to date you. You can't touch my butt. And
we're just friends.
Like, we're not going home together. Bye.
All right. So then it's getting very, very much towards the end of the day. We get a shot of the clock. It's 6:20.
Oh, my God.
No.
Pam was
Can
saying...
you imagine
no.
being there all day
No way.
and then it's 6:20?
I would, at this point, if this happens often, I would say, Michael, you are going to take the repercussions of this. I'm leaving.
Yeah.
It's
5 o'clock.
She has warned him all day that 7 o'clock is the absolute cutoff, but people go home at 5.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
We need this to be done, and it's 6:20. He has not finished it yet. He comes out of his office. He wants to talk with Dwight, and it's just obvious that he's not making it a priority. And he basically says that he's been carrying the weight of all of this on his shoulders all day, and nobody's been willing to help him. So he asked if everybody, and I quote, will help him gangbang this thing and go home.
Very appropriate.
And
very appropriate.
Yeah, so he basically hands off all of the signing to Stanley, Angela, and Toby, which Angela's like, this is illegal. Stanley's like, I don't care.
Honestly, who would? They should have done that at 12.
Yeah, if he was going to do that, he should just hand it off then.
Mm-hmm.
But while they're handling the signing, Michael, we have a clip here. Michael is meeting with Dwight, and he wants to give some good news to his new senpai.
I have been testing you the entire day. Did you know that?
That's convenient.
Of
course.
And I'm happy to say that you passed. So effective immediately, I am promoting you from assistant to the regional manager to assistant regional manager.
It's
Oh, look
official.
how happy he is. Oh, man.
His eyes are
Made
welling
his
up.
life.
I don't know.
I know. I wouldn't be offering it if I didn't think you could handle it.
I can handle it.
I know.
I can.
Okay.
So I guess this will just be my office.
No.
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 In the conference
Title
room.
change only.
I'll have Pam send out a memo.
No. 3-month probationary period. Let's just not tell anybody about this right now.
Just a formality.
Absolutely, but not really.
I have so much to learn from you.
Yes, you do.
Yes, absolutely.
And then the big
Thank you,
ending.
Sensei.
And the bow. Oh, beautiful.
He stays.
You know, and ditto from Michael. I love this because this is good guy Michael Scott. He has sort of humiliated Dwight all day long and kind of been a jerk to him. And yeah, he didn't apologize to him, but this is probably as close to a Michael Scott apology as you're going to get.
Yeah, and he feels bad for him.
Yeah. Yes. But I mean, this is official now. Michael has promoted him. He is no longer assistant 2. He is assistant regional manager.
Right now.
And can I just say, I'm so glad that he did not give the conference room to him as an office, because we need everyone in the conference. I totally slurred that. I apologize.
Hey, poor Richards is later.
Yeah, I guess. So as it's winding down, Michael basically talks about that he did teach Dwight a valuable lesson today. And it's not that there's honor in losing, because we all know that that's completely ridiculous. But there's honor in making a loser feel better.
Yeah.
And as he's talking about this, Dwight, we see him whiting out his business cards. The assistant regional manager.
He works at a paper company. Can't he just print some up?
That is such a good point.
Dwight, always efficient. He's not going to waste a card.
Yeah,
he's-
business
Let me
cards
just edit
cost
these.
like 5 cents a piece.
Oh.
He's got that good liquid.
Not
He's got that
even.
good liquid
Not even
paper.
that.
He can use the liquid paper.
Okay.
It's the same thing. But we have a clip right here. As the episode wraps up, we get this classic Michael Scott line when he talks about just his relation to those in the office, I guess is a great way to put it.
Loser feel better, which is what I just did for Dwight. Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
There you go.
There it is, folks. And you know what, Michael Scott? We are.
Yeah, we are afraid of how much we love Michael Scott. So there you go. All right, and so that brings us to the end of the episode, and we threw it out to social media asking for your reactions of what were some of your favorite moments from the episode. And so over on Instagram, a user ZRed240 said the way that Dwight clutches his bag and shrugs away from Michael after the fight.
Yes.
When he's getting out of the
elevator,
elevator.
yeah.
It's like,
He's really afraid.
He's very, all of a sudden, very sensitive. Yes.
Yeah. And then Candy over at Twitter, who is one of our new patrons, by the way. Thank you so much, Candy. Oh, my. She said her favorite moment was when you're a jet for life.
That is a great, yeah. That's a good
Snappy
one.
fingers.
Yes. Cue Jim's finger snapping West
Your
Side
jet.
Story mockery. Your jet? What?
Your jet.
And then it looks like we did get another one here on Instagram from a user, Andi K. Lambert,
Oh, gosh.
who said seeing
I don't
Pam
know
half
that
naked.
I know.
Andy.
2 for 2.
happened. It happened.
Mistakes were made.
Man.
Awkward, flirty flirt.
And he's like,
giggle,
I
giggle,
can't
shushy,
help.
shushy.
I have to get on.
I guess so.
I gotta answer it.
I love it. Thank you for doing that. And then so this brings us to the part of the episode. We like to take a look at a prank that Jim pulled in the episode, and oh, did he ever in this one. So just a real quick look at the leaderboard so far. In third place, season 1, episode 1, the pilot, we have Dwight Stapler and Jello with 16 Shroot Bucks.
That's good.
Tied for second place, we have season 1, episode 4, The Alliance. It's my Dwight in a box. And season
Which
2.
I still have at my desk, by the way. Thank you to our pranksters.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
And then season 2, episode 2, Sexual Harassment, when Jim baits Michael into the That's What She Said rant. Those are both tied with 21 Shroot Bucks. And then in first place, season 2, episode 5, Halloween, Jim and Pam post Dwight's resume all over the internet.
Clever girl.
23 Shroot Bucks. Now, tonight, Season 2, Episode 6, The Fight. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom.
That was awesome.
Quite good.
It was good.
Yeah.
And Kevin was in there.
Yes, he was. So let's break this down. How many Shroot Bucks Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom?
It's a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
Jim, there was some forethought here. Jim had to come in early to make this happen.
A couple
Super
hours early.
Sure.
I'm gonna go
bring
9.
Tools.
Okay, we've got a 9 from
he
Adam
had to
Jones.
bring tools. He had to set up the tech to do that because a phone rang. He answered it.
Yes.
And then was able to like type away. So he had to actually do tech.
Yes.
You had to do tech.
And the do tech.
Do tech.
Yeah, do tech.
And I love that Kevin was in there too.
That is excellent
Me,
timing.
I know that wasn't Jim, but that was still awesome. I feel like I always copy Adam. It's like you read my mind.
You can go with
So
point. You know what? I'm gonna say you can go with 0.5s
I
on this one.
hate 0.5s. I don't believe in that.
I'm gonna do a
Yeah,
0.5.
they're not
so
true.
get ready for it.
Yeah.
If you do one, he does one, then it evens out.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. 9.5.
9.5.
That was a great. There is not a lot of pranks that could top that. What could top that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If you think about it, what like?
I can only
what's
think
better?
of one right now that I would say is better, that I would give a 10 to.
Okay, I was gonna go 7.5.
What?
Whoa.
No.
I think it's
Jeez.
good.
Be a
I think
hater.
it was really good, and I think it had a lot of forethought, and it was executed incredibly well. A 9.5.
But
Andy.
7.5, like, what do you need for a 10? What is better than that?
I don't know exactly what I'm going to need for a 10, but I'm going to feel it when it happens, and I'm going to
Yeah,
know.
he's gonna get the
Feel
feel.
I'm going
his
to know.
butt.
Feel
What is that?
Feel it.
Andy's got this thing about butts.
I know, right?
I like big butts and I cannot lie.
I actually asked Siri to play a night. I can't remember if I did both 90s and 2000s mix, and that came up. Some other
And
songs.
then,
but
like, you can't help but bump that booty.
yeah,
Baby
That was
got
kind of a
back.
question. I'm like, Adam,
I don't have a
do you
booty.
bump the booty?
No, it's very flat on the backside.
Flat Butt
On the
Jones. That's what they call him.
Flat butt Jones.
All through college.
Mm-hmm.
That was his nickname. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a new leader.
That's
26 out of 30 Shroot Bucks.
Yeah.
Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom. So that's going to bump Dwight's stapler and Jello. Bye-bye.
Bump it.
Aw,
Bump,
so
bump,
sad.
bump.
There you go. All right, so new leader in first place. Jim puts Dwight's desk in the bathroom. There we go. Now we come to that excellent point where Adam Jones gets to save us from ourselves. We're going to head over to the Dunder Mifflin subreddit and look at some good quality content. And as always, make sure you check out the show notes, because what we're looking at, what we're getting ready to talk about, you can actually go to the show notes, click the link, and check out and see what we are talking about as we talk about it. So, Adam Jones, take us to Dunder Mifflin.
So this subreddit always got good content, and I went on this afternoon, found somebody, and here's the thing: gonna throw them a bone. It's good content. Also, only has 226 upvotes right now.
Oh, get him those upvotes.
So he's gonna get some silver, he or she, and the Dundie is the silver. But anyways, this is one from a future episode coming up. And it's kind of like, how would you describe in the social media meme world what this top portion is?
It's those things that you'll see on like Instagram or Facebook or Pinterest where it's like usually it'll be like a boy or like a couple, and they're holding, and it's like when he looks you right in the eye,
Yep.
or something like that, or
It's like the normal shot, like this is normal life, and then this is a spin of comedy.
yeah,
on
like
it.
well,
can't be,
the one we saw a few weeks ago was the young guy, and it's like when boys bite their lip. You know, and it's like, yeah.
So it's kind of like some Anyway, so and at the top of it's 2 square. This is wishing you could stay motivated enough to work out. So it's like, you know, proposing that.
Oh.
And then the second panel is Dwight from this episode where he's like training people on like a spin class, I guess you would call that.
Yeah.
And his line that he says in this episode is, "If they catch us, they will rape us." And so he's
I
trying
love
to get
that there's
people to
an
go
old lady
faster.
in the back too, like already sweating, and she's probably thinking, "My God, I gotta go."
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a first-time watcher of The Office, you're going to have to probably come back to these and then laugh at them with us. And then there's a large, probably majority of people that listen to this that know what I'm referencing already.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah.
So we are going to give user Salt Shakers with 2 S's at the end some silver, and the Dundie for sweatiest
most motivating, sweatiest.
Yeah, most
Making us
motivating and
all wanna
sweaty
work out.
Dundie.
There you go.
Yes, exactly.
There's nothing more motivating than not wanting them to catch you,
Right.
I'm
if
with
you know what I mean. I wasn't going to say
When
that
the
part,
stakes
but-
are
Yes.
this high.
That's right. It is incredibly high stakes.
Yes.
All right. So that brings us to the end of the episode. We just want to say once again, thank you guys so much for listening, supporting the show. Make sure that wherever you get your podcasts that you subscribe and you rate. And if you leave us a 5-star, we'll read it on the next episode. Make sure you tell a friend about the show. It's a great tangible way to help out. And as always, check us out on Patreon and patreon.com/anofficepod. For just $3 a month, you get access to the after party at Poor Richard's, which we're getting ready to head over to right now. We're going to talk about fights that we've been in.
You're full of
It's
food.
good, folks.
You are full of
Andy.
food. Oh, baby.
Rude.
And speaking of Patreon, once again, we just want to say so.
So yeah.
I am having a hard time with words tonight. We just want to say
is, folks.
thank you so much to our new patrons, Brian and Candy. Thank you so much for coming on board. It's great. And as always, homework. Your homework for this week, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, put someone in a sleeper hold. Just do it.
Oh, and please tag us. I would love to see
That
that.
would be funny. Walk up to a coworker and do
Yeah.
it.
Put somebody in a sleeper hold and call them the weakest link and tag us because
Yep.
we just so want to see them.
Oh, we repost that.
And then make sure that you watch season 2, episode 7, The Client.
That's going to be fun.
It's a good one.
We're going to be closing deals at Chili's, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we
Yay.
is.
Oh,
Some
baby.
chili cheese fries.
That's right. And so, hey, until next time, I'm Rob.
I'm Adam.
And I'm Andy.
And this was
Everybody in the conference room.
All right, let's head over to Poor Richard's.
Becky,